The latter has been provided with resources to operate on a permanent basis to reinforce the hospital's security. Authorities assure that they will put the criminal groups out of action, as people have been criticizing the government for not having taken measures to prevent the attack on time. In Venezuela, representatives of the Comandante Eterno Hugo Chavez Foundation inaugurate a hall in homage to the first meeting between Hugo Chavez Fria and the leader of the Cuban Revolution, Fidel Castro Cruz. The ceremony took place within the framework of the celebration of the 30th anniversary of this historic moment. On the same occasion, the newspaper La Esperanza Está en la Calle was presented, which gathers hundreds of local and national press clippings from 1994 on Commander Hugo Chavez. This selection is the result of an extensive research carried out by historian Lucas Corner, who highlighted the love of the Venezuelan people for Commander Chavez and underlined the importance of keeping his memory alive to strengthen and expand the Bolivarian Revolution towards the world. In Colombia, the Quinta de Bolívar Museum commemorated the 194th anniversary of the passing to immortality of the liberator Simón Bolívar in the city of Bogotá. The commemorative act was attended by the diplomatic representation of Venezuela created in Colombia, members of the Advisory Commission of Foreign Relations, and of the National Congress. Likewise, authorities commemorate the legacy of the liberator with a floral tribute, remembering also his influence in the unity and integration of Latin America, which brought justice, emancipation, and self-determination to the peoples. In this sense, participants highlight the important role played by Venezuela in the peace of the Colombian country and made a call to abandon the polarization that separates the sister nations. Also in Bolivia, the Chamber of Deputies commemorated the 194th anniversary of the passing to immortality of the liberator Simón Bolívar. Through the legislator Gloria Callisaya, Secretary of the Committee of Ordinary Jurisdiction, the country paid homage with floral offerings or highlighted the legacy of unity and struggle for independence led by the liberator Bolívar in Latin American peoples. The organization of the event was carried out by the Embassy of Venezuela in the country with the presence of military and police authorities, as well as diplomatic representatives and other authorities. And in the rural area of La Huac, Mexico City, most of an edible herb known as romerito is produced and forms part of a representative dish of the Christmas dinner. This year, a series of floods put part of the crop at risk. Let's see more details.
Don Gustavo has been a fruit and vegetable merchant for 45 years. He knows that during the Christmas season, his customers are looking for fresh romerito to prepare it with mole for Christmas dinner. Mr. Gustavo explains that the romerito has not become more expensive for this season because the supply of this product is abundant.
Debido a que el abasto de este producto es abundante.
The price of romerito is currently good. It is difficult for it to go up or down, 2 or 3 days before it even goes down when there is a lot. But there are times when it is scarce, and then the price of the product is even double 2 or 3 days before. It is the law of supply and demand. This time it will not be like that, because there is a lot in the central supply center. You can see trucks with a lot of romerito.
Don Gustavo
recognizes that romeritos, a classic dish on the capital's tables during Christmas dinner, remains but is losing ground to other options.
¿Sigue siendo una tradición en las mesas mexicanas?
Sí, todavía, bastante.
Is romerito still a tradition in the Mexican tables? Yes, it is still quite a lot. Not like before. It used to be sold in huge quantities by the bundle. Now we are bringing 20, 30 kilograms, but before we used to sell 2 or 3 bundles of 60 kilograms. 10 to 15 years ago, we used to sell a lot of romerito.
Mucho romerito.
For some people in the capital, romeritos are a must on their Christmas table, and they are buying them in advance.
The price is maintained, always fresh above all, always with good quality. At home with my grandparents, we always used to eat romeritos, then with my parents, and now here at home.
In early October, unusual rains flooded 22 hectares of romeritos in Mexico City. Putting the crop at risk, the local government supported the producers.
We are fulfilling the commitment of the head of government, and on her behalf we are delivering seed so that this productive agricultural cycle is not lost and that in December we will have romeritos. We know the importance of romeritos for the area. Mexico City is the #1 producer of romeritos at the national level.
Para este 2024,
By 2024, production is expected to exceed 130 tons, thus guareteeing supply.
el esfuerzo conjunto entre el gobierno local
The joint effort between the local government and the producers of the rural area of the Tláhuac municipality made it possible to rescue dozens of hectares that were affected by atypical rains during October, thus avoiding a shortage of romerito during the Christmas season.
Antonio Aranda, Telesur, Ciudad de México.
And the president-elect of the United States, Donald Trump, returned to threaten undocumented immigrants, this time in his most recent statements where he affirmed that he will eliminate birthright citizenship. From New York, our correspondent Henry Camelo with details.
Restricting immigration at any cost, even through fear, is what experts believe the most recent statements made by Donald Trump in his first interview after being elected president to the NBC channel, where he ratified his promise to eliminate birthright citizenship.
You promised to end birthright citizenship on day one. Is that still your plan?
Yeah, absolutely.
The 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution automatically grants citizenship to anyone born in the country, even if their parents are not citizens. For legal scholars, the path to eliminating birthright citizenship will be difficult, but not impossible.
He would have to get a supermajority in both chambers. He would need at least 38 of the 50 states in the nation to approve that change, and that is very difficult. It is not impossible, but it is very difficult.
Something that worries undocumented mothers of children born in the country.
Well, that's not right because his family, where he comes from, was also an immigrant. What is he talking about? I don't think it's right.
I don't want to be breaking up families, so the only way not to break up the family is to keep them together, and you have to send them all back.
Donald Trump es un racista.
Donald Trump is a racist.
Las políticas que él hizo en su primer...
The policies he made in his first term as president, and also the proposals he made during his campaign are racist proposals.
Son propuestas racistas basadas en una exclusión.
Based on an exclusion and an idea of who really belongs and deserves to be here, and who does not.
According to legal experts, fear seems to be Trump's strategy to get immigrants to return to their countries voluntarily.
His main weapon is not really what happens, but the feeling it creates, the feeling of fear, the feeling of panic. He knows the fragility, the emotional delicacy of immigrants.
Therefore, the call is to remain calm and united.
It is not very likely that he will achieve that, but what he does achieve is to damage the relationship between immigrants and the people who live here.
Trump will once again be up against the ropes, since eliminating birthright citizenship, according to jurists, is something very difficult to do. So we will see what will be his trick up his sleeve as of January 20th.
Pablo Daniel Ho y Henry Camelo, teleSUR, Nueva York.
Haiti members of the Living Together